Hey everyone, welcome back to another New World video, and I hope that everybody is having an absolutely fantastic day. But let's go ahead and move on to what today's topic of this video is going to be about, and that is world transfers or server merges whenever that does happen. Now, Amazon Game Studios has made it very clear that this is going to happen. We just don't know when. I do think it's going to be sooner rather than later, but if you guys opt to actually do a world transfer like I have from an unpopulated to a popular server, then I want to go over some of the opinions and advice that I can give to you guys since I was already in that situation, and there's a few things that I wish I would have done a little bit differently. If you guys have anything that you guys would like to add to anything that I'm talking about in today's video, by all means, leave a comment down below and let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing is if you guys do want to transfer world, you guys can just push escape on your keyboard, go to store, go to world transfer at the bottom, and then go ahead and transfer to whatever world you want and just follow the directions from there. For me, it's not even there anymore because I've already done that, and I think they said eventually you will be able to pay to actually transfer your characters to multiple worlds if that's something that you guys desire to do later, but it's not currently in there, so I don't know when that's going to be implemented. Maybe when the server merges and that stuff actually takes place, that will actually be an option. So there's that. But one of the main things and the most annoying things for me about transferring from an unpopular to a popular server is the queue times again, especially from that 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to about 11 o'clock, maybe even midnight. It's always a queue. There's always a queue. Even today, a couple hours ago, when I relogged back into the game, I had to actually go ahead and wait for about a half an hour to start playing the game once again. And I find that most annoying because when I want to get into the game, I want to be able to get into it right away and start playing it right away and start doing the activities that I want to do in today's, like, right now. These are the things that I want to take care of, and then I got to go ahead and wait. So unfortunately, you have to go and step away from either from the computer or just patiently wait at your computer for that queue time to go ahead and expire. So unpopular, you guys can get in right away, just because you don't have to worry about that. But popular servers, obviously, later in the day, the busy time of the day, you're always going to have to go ahead and wait. Now, let's go ahead and talk actually about some of the things that I wish I would have done a little bit differently before transferring this. And I was really big into mining and harvesting and all that kind of stuff. I wish I would have actually taken the time and energy to go and start doing a ton of those activities and getting a ton of storage in all the different settlements completely full of the things that I wanted to make sure that I had. So, because when you guys transfer to a popular server or when the server merges, you're going to start competing with a lot more people once again, and this is going to happen, like I said earlier, sooner than rather than later. And if you guys want to make sure that you guys are stockpiled and going after especially some of those legendary pieces, when you start getting like that 200 leveling in harvesting and mining and things like that, so whether you're looking for void ore, or if you're looking for scar hide or smolder hide, or even like the scale cloth or whatever it might be, make sure that you guys are trying to find that stuff prior to world transferring, just because when you get into a more popular server, the routes that you guys enjoy or the more popular routes that are currently out there, even the ones that I participate in every single day, you're not always going to find every batch of items that you're looking for, whereas you might be able to on a low popular server. Now, moving on to that, not even just talking about that, but on a popular server, if you don't want to go ahead and mine that, the prices are a little bit cheaper just because there are more people taking advantage of that. Just in this last week, I saw void ore go from 15,000 or right around that price point down to about 2,500 just in the last week because less and less people are starting to buy that. But there's also that much of an abundance of it on the server that I'm playing for, so I can't necessarily speak for what it's like currently on a less popular server or just a dead server in general. Now, that's one of the things I would like to actually participate in. Now, the one thing that really does suck is if you guys are trying to actually do the Shadow Mountain chests every single day just to try to get your watermark gear score up, or maybe even start to participate in Outpost Rush on a dead server, those activities are pretty slim to none. Now, there are some runs that you can do up in Shadow Mountain completely on your own. It just takes a little bit of time and effort and a little bit of finagling or kiting some of the enemies just to kind of work your way into some of those elite chests every single day. Where on the server that I'm playing on, we have a huge group of people that actually go out every single time at the same time of every day, and we can actually get all the chests, every single chest in Shadow Mountain if we want to, because there's so many of us, and we can actually do all of Shadow Mountain in under an hour, which is absolutely incredible. And now we're starting to move on to other territories like the Destiny area, or in Ebonscale Reach, or even the Sirens area in Reekwater. So those are things that you guys can participate in if you're in a more popular server, where you might struggle to find even a small group on a dead server. So if you're trying to get your gear score up, dead server might not necessarily be the way to go. Also, on a dead server, you have a lot more territory transfer, just because one faction might be a lot more heavily swayed on a dead server. Like in the server that I'm playing on, for the most part, territory stays pretty consistent. You know, the factions are pretty set, they're fairly even, but the territories are not. So it would be nice to actually see kind of that 33, 33, 33 split, but I don't think it's going to happen for a while. Or maybe as this server continues to get more of a specific faction, then that might actually happen. And that's kind of a gamble that you guys will actually take. So say you guys are a Covenant and you guys like being able to participate in it, and the entire map is yellow right now. If you switch, you're going to lose out on a lot of those fast travel opportunities that you're so used to, or even buying houses at a cheaper cost, or gathering things at a much better speed, just because you have all of those little bit of buffs because of the kind of territory standing that you're currently in. And when you switch to a different server, the territories are going to be completely different. And we don't know what the server merges are actually going to look like, because just because it's all yellow on your screen doesn't mean that the two other ones that you guys actually go ahead and participate with aren't going to be completely different or a different color than what you guys are used to. So those are some of the things that I wanted to be able to identify. Just like, I felt like those are kind of a little bit of shock, especially going ahead and getting, I should have actually gone through a lot of the more popular routes and collected a ton of like iron, a lot of star metal, a lot of orichalcum, and that way I just had it for me to actually just go ahead and use when I wanted it. But I will say that on a more popular server, it is a lot easier to participate in a lot of the different crafting activities, because even if you don't want to gather all the supplies yourself, you can buy them for a relatively inexpensive cost and keep going, and you don't have to spend as much money or as much coin as you would like. Now, the other side of that is if you guys are really big in selling, and that's what you predominantly do, and that's what you're kind of known for, and you're not doing some of those other activities, you're going to significantly cut your profitability on a more popular server, just because the prices are always competing against each other all the time. I mean, I can log in at the very beginning of the day and say runic leather is selling for 250, and by the end of the day it's down to 140 coin per piece, which is a huge difference and a big swing every single day. Same thing kind of happens with files of suspended Azoth. Just sometimes they're 100 and sometimes they drop all the way down to 50. It just really depends on the specific time of day. So I've kind of learned what time of days are the best times to go ahead and actually participate in some of those things. But hopefully this video, guys, helps you out. If it does, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And if you guys have anything additionally that you would like to add, or kind of let other people know that they would like to be able to do, that you experience if you've done a server transfer here in New World, and let people know what other things that you might want to let them, just so they're very much aware of it in the grand scheme of things. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. It would help me out a lot and is greatly appreciated. But until next time, YouTube, you guys keep doing what you're doing, because you're already doing it, and you guys stay gaming.